We are getting more details about that deadly mass shooting out of Louisiana. 8 children were killed on Sunday.
Police say Shamar Elkins, the father of 7 of those children, is responsible. They say Elkins also shot his wife and another woman before he was killed by police. Investigators are describing the crime as a domestic violence incident.
NBC's Ryan Chandler joins us now from Shreveport, Louisiana. Ryan, what can you tell us about what happened, what we know, and what do we know about the gunman?
Well, one of the more concerning revelations about the gunman, Kate, is that he was a convicted felon. Authorities saying they're now trying to figure out how he came into possession of the 2 firearms they say he used in this attack, given a criminal history that would preclude legal ownership. I asked police more about this yesterday. They told me that in 2019, he was convicted of illegal use of a weapon for discharging a handgun near a school zone, and that would mean that he cannot legally possess the handgun or the rifle-style pistol they say he used to kill 8 children in this house behind me, 7 of them his own children, the other a cousin of those siblings. It's just an incomprehensible act that has local leaders here renewing an urgent conversation about the need to tackle domestic violence. Here's a bit of what they said today.
8 innocent children losing their lives as a result of domestic violence. There are no words that can fully capture the depth of this loss.
We don't have all of the answers, but you can rest assured that the work that we started will continue, and we will fight this on behalf of this family.
A lot of mourning, but also a lot of conviction in this community as they just begin to grieve and try and make sense of what happened.
Yeah, and Ryan, what are we learning about the 8 children killed and the women injured in the shooting rampage?
Well, Clay, you see the memorial that is growing behind me. This is the scene of the crime, that house there. And all morning, people who say that they are relatives of the victims and pastors have been coming by to lay balloons and stuffed animals. Remember, these were children ages 3 to 11 years old. I was speaking with some people who said that they're the aunts, uncles, cousins of these victims, and they remember them as obviously sweet, innocent kids, part of a big, close family in a close-knit neighborhood, the kind of place that they never expected something like this, something so shocking would happen. So you see the love that they are pouring out for those children now, as the children's mother and one other woman are still fighting for their lives in the hospital tonight.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.